What is up, Buffalo Fanatics? Z-Bot here with you, live on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel. It's mother effing game day, baby. Week 1. The 2024 NFL season starts in Orchard Park in less than 45 minutes as the Buffalo Bills get set to host the Arizona Cardinals. Welcome in to the Buffalo Bills pregame show right here on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel, powered by BetUS. So good to have you in. It's been a long wait, ladies and gentlemen, but the wait is finally over. Buffalo Bills football is here, and we couldn't be more excited to share the season with you here on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel. It all starts today. Bills host Kyler Murray, the newly drafted Marvin Harrison Jr., and the Arizona Cardinals, who are coming off a 4-win season, trying to get back to where they were a handful of seasons ago, trying to vie for one of those playoff spots in the NFC. The Bills are trying to spoil that hot start for the Arizona Cardinals, who are trying to get back on track. Before we get into things, and by the way, Rico will be joining me in just a minute. He's on his way back from church. I got a text from Jenna saying, hey, Rico left his phone at home. Get the things going. I think Rico, he's so ready to go for the game. He's not even looking at the phone. That's what I love about him. Rico's so dialed in, he forgot the phone at home, but he'll be joining me in just a couple of minutes. Before we dive into everything we need to talk about before this game, let's head over to BetUS real quick and take a look at what the closing line is before this game starts. And as you can see right here, as it's been for the majority of the week, the Buffalo Bills are currently hanging on to a 6.5-point favorite. Heading into the game this afternoon, the over-under line has dropped a bit. It was 47 the last time we joined you. It's at 45.5 right now. That could be due to the fact that the weather, bit dicey today. Very windy in upstate New York. I'm not in Connecticut like I usually am. As you can tell by my background, I'm not at the Z-Bot home studios. I'm up at my parents' house in Rochester for the game, and it is a windy one here. Last I checked, I'll double check right now, less than 60 degrees, showing 59 degrees right here in Rochester. The wind is whipping here. Apparently, it's whipping even worse in Buffalo. That's probably the reason for the drop in the over-under here. But one last look, Bills go into this game nearly a full touchdown and extra point favorite with the over-under at 45.5. If you want to jump in on that, make sure to take advantage of the 150% sign-up bonus we have going on right now at BetUS. Promo code is YouTube150, 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. So let's talk about that element of it for a second, because one of the biggest questions we have going into this game, what is the Buffalo Bills offense going to look like? Not only is it brand new in a variety of different ways, almost every receiver on this team's a new face. And if they're not a new face, they were new a season ago, right? The offense is going to be relying heavily on Khalil Shakir, heavily on rookie Keon Coleman, heavily on new faces in Curtis Samuel, Mac Hollins, of course, Keon Coleman, not to mention the duo in Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. But above anything, what's this offense going to look like compared to what it looked like last year? We get an interim offensive coordinator in Joe Brady halfway through the year. Bills get off to a shaky start, to say the least. Changes made. Ken Dorsey's out. Joe Brady's in, and you felt the vibe change pretty significantly. It felt like the Bills' offense went back to the basics, and it worked. The Bills won every single game they played under Joe Brady outside of the Philadelphia Eagles loss in overtime, where a 60-yard field goal in the rain is all that separated the Bills from winning that one. And, of course, a narrow margined loss to the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. All we've seen from Joe Brady, though, is either a field goal difference in winning or losing or a victory. It's been nothing but success in the short period we've had with Joe Brady. Now we get the extended version. We get the full version. Joe Brady heads in today as the offensive coordinator, his first game as the offensive coordinator full time. Last year, what you saw, the biggest change above everything, was the emphasis on the run game. Going into today, I think the biggest question mark we had is, what is this pass game going to look like without Stephon Diggs, without Gabe Davis, with a rookie pretty much being the guy that I feel like is going to emerge into wide receiver one. How are we going to get there? More 2 tight end sets than usual. Curtis Samuel, how are they going to utilize him? I wonder if that today winds up not being the point of emphasis. Due, partially, in fact, to the weather, but also due to the way I think Joe Brady wants to operate this offense in general. Last year, when Joe Brady took over, Josh Allen's rushing went way up, and the carries for James Cook and company went way up as well. It's a reason why last year, in addition to stellar offensive line play, the best offensive line play that Josh Allen has had since he's become the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, you coupled that together with the emphasis on running the ball. James Cook goes over 1,000 yards. Josh Allen has a terrific end of the year on the ground. You now add Ray Davis. You have Ty Johnson, one of the better running back rooms in the league. I think today you're going to see a continuation of what the Buffalo Bills did at the halfway point last year when Joe Brady took over. I think the weather could factor into that a bit, but I also think that just might be the move this year until we see otherwise. We really saw this come to fruition last year against the Dallas Cowboys at home when the Buffalo Bills beat the ever-living shit out of Dallas on a rainy day in Orchard Park. It was that day that I think us fans realized, wow, these Buffalo Bills can win football games without Josh Allen throwing the ball 40 times and without him rushing the ball 10 times. I think Josh Allen in that game, how many attempts did he have? Less than 15? They ran their way to a 3-score victory in that game that was over before it even started. And you saw shades of that throughout the year. That's why when the year finished, with a quarterback like Josh Allen, in my opinion, the second best quarterback in the NFL, with that caliber of talent behind the offensive line, this Buffalo Bills team ran the ball more than they threw it. I don't think the Bills go away from that until they're proven otherwise. I think it's going to result in a handful of things that are beneficial for the Bills, and this is why they won as many games as they did last year with Joe Brady. One, time of possession. The Buffalo Bills dominated the time of possession stat last year throughout the duration of Joe Brady's midterm takeover throughout the season. Dominated. A lot of that came from the ability to rush the ball. Today, they're facing a defense in the Arizona Cardinals that is beyond less than stellar. If there's one big advantage for the Buffalo Bills in this game, it's their offense against this Arizona Cardinals defense. If we get shades of what we got from the Buffalo Bills offensive line last year against this front four for the Arizona Cardinals, the Bills should dominate offensively, but they should dominate in the run game. Last year, single-handedly, the reason the Bills lost their Week 1 game against the New York Jets on Monday Night Football at MetLife was because sugar-high Josh Allen wound up costing them the game. There really is no other reason. If Josh Allen doesn't have 4 picks in that game, there is no way you can convince me that Zach Wilson takes that game to overtime and beats the Buffalo Bills. There's just no way you can convince me of that. Today, the talent gap is wide enough, in my opinion, to where you can't convince me the Buffalo Bills lose this game unless there are self-inflicted wounds similar to that Jets game that wind up costing them the game. In order to avoid that, not that you have to purposely go in with this mindset. You're not going into this game saying, hey, let's avoid turning the ball over. Let's keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hand. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, if you have the convenience, the benefit of being able to do that successfully, there really is no point in having Josh Allen sling the ball all over the field if you don't need it. Not only is that a benefit for this game in particular, but you have to play on a short week. You have the first Thursday night football game of the year. Well, the first one on Amazon, I guess. Technically the first Thursday night football game by its name. Technically, this past Thursday night football game was a Sunday night football, whatever. You know what I mean. Either way, the Bills are playing on a short week against a bitter rival in the Miami Dolphins. It's not to overlook the Arizona Cardinals, but think about it. If you can go in against this Arizona Cardinals team, which should surely struggle against the run the way we are predicting this defense to be, you don't have to show your hand at all. It's a whole new year. There's nobody that knows the Bills more than the Dolphins, then the Patriots, then the Jets. Even with that said, the Bills have had an unbelievable amount of success against these Miami Dolphins, and it's a whole new year. Mike McDaniel and company, they don't know what the Bills are going to throw at them Thursday night with Joe Brady. We don't even know what it's going to look like ourselves as Bills fans. We have no idea what it's going to look like. It could look completely different. A whole offseason with Joe Brady. We don't know what the implementations are going to be. We don't know what the differences in offensive scheme are going to be between when Joe Brady took over on a whim in the middle of the week, thrusted into having to saving this Buffalo Bills team mid-season, winning essentially every game, right? Every game was a playoff game week in and week out. Could look entirely different. If you can go in today and dominate on the run game, right? Josh Allen, James Cook, Ray Davis, Ty Johnson. If you can run the ball, I don't know, 30 plus times today, not have to air it out, not have to show anything, I think you can get out today with a comfortable victory and then carry that into Thursday night when the Dolphins, yeah, they might have a tape on you. You didn't show them much other than the fact that, hey, we're running the ball down your throat. I think the fact that it's a real windy one out in Buffalo could further convince Joe Brady to stick to the game style that he was going with frequently last year. I think we see a lot of rushing attempts for the Buffalo Bills today. I think, though, it will have to get off to a hot start. The reason why they kept going back to the run game so frequently last year, especially in that Dallas Cowboys game when it really felt like there was a realization that they could do this, it's because it was working nonstop. If they can get off to a hot start today on the run game, I don't imagine Joe Brady going away from it unless he has to. So that's what I'm expecting today. Right out of the chutes, emphasis on the run game. Because the Cardinals, the only way they're going to win this game for two reasons. One, if the Buffalo Bills turn the ball over on offense. Two, if Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., James Conner, if they just come out hot. But if they come out hot, you can mitigate that with the Bills' ability to maintain possession throughout the game, running the football. We saw this last year, no matter who they played. And that's why we see this again today. No matter who the Bills played last year, whether it was the Chiefs, the Dolphins, or the lowly Chargers or the lowly Patriots, what was the game plan every single week? Hang on to the ball, take it to the end, win narrowly. I don't care if the Bills today win by 20 or if they win by 5. A win's a win, especially when you look at the schedule that they have. So I anticipate a similar style of gameplay unless we see otherwise. With that said, I got to bring out my partner in crime. Rico, happy day, my brother. How you feeling?
Listen, we are good. We're back from church. We got the word in today. Now we got to get a dub. We got to get ourselves a dub. What's up, Bills Mafia? Buffalo Fanatics
Mike,
is happening with shaking. Talk to me.
Flip that mic on so we can get dialed in because I know you got some things to say. Rico, what I was just saying, I don't know if you've heard, but the wind is whipping in Orchard Park today. And so for the last 10 minutes or so, based on what I've been hearing, the wind, I'm in Rochester right now. I can feel it myself. It's cold today. It is cold in Rochester, and a lot of that has to do with the wind chill.
Check.
You're sounding great. I want your thoughts on this. I think that the win today is just one more additional reason why I think Joe Brady comes in today with the same mindset he had throughout the year last year, and that's running the damn football until proven otherwise. Couple reasons I think this, Rico. One, I think the win plays a factor. Two, I think it's a benefit for the Bills to be able to run the ball today against a weaker Arizona Cardinals defense and not have to show anything at all on a short week going into Miami. You don't show anything. You can bring a whole new deck of cards into week 2 by just running the football today. And on top of that, more than anything, I think the Bills are set up for success against a weak defense in the Arizona Cardinals today. I think the offensive line is better. There it is. Better than the Cardinals have on the other side. The Bills should be able to run the ball today. I'm guessing you're in agreement. Talk to me.
Run the rock. That's it. RTR. Run the rock. Listen, and a lot of the reason that I'm saying run the rock is because of who we have at kicker. We already know what time it is. Tyler Bass we wouldn't even think twice. Oh, we're in field goal range? Man, get Tyler Bass on there. We got it. Now you're like, a little shaky. We've been talking about it all off season. So right now, this is going to be where you run the rock. You establish yourselves. And then once we start to kind of get the juices flowing, we got a newly paid right tackle. We got a solidified left tackle. We have an interior line that's coming together. We got a second-year player in Osiris Torrance that's ready to prove himself in year 2. Let's roll. Run the freaking rock. That's exactly what needs to happen. And it's all about the trenches. Run the rock, defend the rock. You got to defend the dirt. You got to defend the dirt at your home, and you can't let James Conner and that newly refreshed O-line try to bully you on your own block. You can't have that happen. We are the bullies. We do the bullying. That's what has to happen against Arizona. Here's the thing. This is what some folks are calling a trap game. Trap game early in the season. Because right now, Arizona has nothing to lose. They got nothing to lose. We won 4 games last year. If we win 6 games, it's just a bet. It's an improvement. Now we have an opportunity to go take down the big bad Bills, bro, in their own home. And now we're trying to establish ourselves. Listen, my name is Kyler Murray. Don't make people forget about who I am. I'm about to show y'all what's good. So I got something to prove. James Conner's got something to prove. Second-year coach Gagnon got something to prove. There's a lot of guys that have something to prove on this squad. Nonetheless, and we're talking about also Marvin Harrison Jr. that's going to try to push for a Rookie of the Year. He's got to try to establish himself early. We didn't see him in Combine. We didn't see a whole lot of this guy. So this guy's somewhat of a mystery to a whole lot of folks. So what is this? It's going to be like a coming out party? No, we got to crash the party. It ain't going to be a coming out party. We got to establish ourselves as one of the better teams in the AFC, let alone the NFL. Can't let them come and bully us on the block. Run the rock, defend the dirt, and don't let them run. That's the main thing right now. And we got to establish ourselves. Get up, put points on the board, and to make them one-dimensional. And let's roll. Let's roll, baby. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out of turn. How you feel about this one?
No, I mentioned something similar. I feel like last year, the only reason the Bills lost their opening game was because Josh Allen turned the ball over 4 times. I think that you might have a benefit today of being able to get a game under your belt, being able to get the grooves going, right? The feet underneath you with so many new faces without really having to be in a situation where Josh Allen even has the ability to do that. And I had prefaced, you don't go into this game with the idea of keeping the ball out of Josh Allen's hands for the sake of doing it. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is if you have an opportunity similar to like you had last year against the Cowboys, when you can just run successfully nonstop, what's the point of switching it up? And I think today the Bills have an advantage on the ground. And I think ultimately that gives them the advantage in the game. It gives them an advantage going into Thursday night as well. And it allows Josh Allen with so many new faces around him, I think, to establish a precedent where we're not going to force anything. We're going to go by this committee approach that everybody's expecting to see, take what's given to you and run the rock. That results in dominating time of possession. That results in lack of time for Kyler Murray and them to get in a groove themselves. As you mentioned, they're going to want to come out hot here. They're going to want to show that they're a different team than they were last year. So I think it also avoids the ability to fall into that trap too. They fell into the trap last year against the Jets because they put themselves in that trap. If you're dominating on the ground, I don't see how you wind up falling into a trap when you're just playing hard-nosed defense. The Bills, to me today, Rico, the only way they lose this game is if their defense gets shredded and the Bills give them more opportunities on offense than they deserve. And that would be by turning the ball over. I don't think the Bills, if they don't turn the ball over today and they mitigate the amount of possessions that the Arizona Cardinals have, I don't know how they get out of here with a loss.
Listen, I'm in agreement with you. This is, I don't like this whole, we need to win this one, but it is one of those situations we need to win this one. 0-1, it's early season. You don't want to get too down on yourself, but like you can't lose the games that you're supposed to win. And this is one of those games that they're supposed to win. And I'll tell you, a lot of these experts, although they love the Bills and they want to give love to the Bills, they're shaky on the Bills on this one. Has the line changed?
No, we looked at it right before you hopped on. It's still 6.5. What did change, though, is the over-under. It went down a bit, and I think that's because of the win. And Ariola's coming in here, and he's saying it, alongside of us. It's like up to 25 miles an hour out there in Buffalo right now. The other question that, of course, is going to be asked when it comes to this win, if it comes down to Tyler Bass's foot, I mean, the conditions are not ideal. What I had heard earlier today, based on what I was reading, Tyler Bass was out early getting the attempts in this win. And I from what I've heard, he was looking as good as he's had all offseason in pregame warmups. So let's hope that continues. But it's just one more reason today, Rico, why I feel if you can run the rock, and they got one of the better running back rooms in the league, not to mention maybe the best running quarterback in the league in terms of his ability to do a variety of different things, not just run the ball, but run over you, get the short yards, get the scramble yards, a variety of different factors, plus factoring in the play action, the bootlegs, whatever. I just think the Bills have the advantage today offensively. That's the biggest difference in this game. if they're able to hold on to the ball as much as they did last year with Joe Brady, I just don't think the Cardinals are going to have enough opportunity to be in this ball game at the end.
And this is what, and the thing is, if we're talking about running the rock, let's not, and I don't want to say give flowers to the Cardinals, but let's understand that there was a game we played up against the New England Patriots where it was a game of wind.
Yes.
And you remember that game.
I was at that game. It was one of the worst games I've ever seen.
We were neutralized because we couldn't do what we do best, and that's air the ball out. Thank goodness that we have a balanced offensive coordinator that understands that in order to establish something in this game, you're going to have to run this rock. But so are the Cardinals. The Cardinals are going to do the same thing, and we're susceptible to getting gashed in the run. And we've seen it before. We were middle of the pack in defending the run, and I got to repeat myself. James Conner is no bitch. James Conner is no slouch. He will run it down our throats if we don't stop that run. And if we allow these big gashes and we don't defend it the way we're supposed to, now we're opened up to guys like Kyler Murray that will get us biting, and all of a sudden you got something out deep. So all this turns into, and I said it before, discipline. We've got to be disciplined. That's one of the keys to this game. Disciplined on the offense side of the ball, disciplined on the defense side of the ball, not falling for stuff, not jumping off sides on anything, staying disciplined. And we had some issues at the beginning of the year when we were just in disarray. We kind of tightened things up a little bit, but we need to start off a great foot right off the bat. So discipline is going to be one of the things that we've got to establish in this game upcoming. I do have a question for you. Is when looking at this team, is there anything that you worry about? Is there anything, even from the Bills standpoint or even the opposition standpoint? And this goes for the chat as well. What worries you as Bills fans going into this week 1 matchup against the Arizona Cardinals? I might be putting you on the spot, my man Bot, but is there anything that stands out to you that's kind of like, that's got you worried? Maybe on our side of the football.
Yeah. No, the worry I have is the worry I've had all offseason, and that is just the uncertainty. I just don't know what to expect today. That's why I'm hoping we do see an ample amount of running the ball, because I think that we know, regardless of all the new faces, we know that this Buffalo Bills team behind this offensive line and with the running back room they have, in addition to what Josh Allen can do, they can run the football. But the uncertainty to me, I don't know if it's a worry, but I guess you could categorize it as that, because it's really been the one thing that I've been focusing in on. I don't know what they're going to look like in terms of throwing the football. I don't think anybody does. We didn't see any of this in the offseason whatsoever, and it's frankly new across the board. And if it's not new, it's a couple of years, out of the package. It basically is new. And then defensively, I think that you can't help but be a bit worried about what the safety department's going to be looking like, especially when you're going against guys like Marvin Harrison Jr. today. Next week, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, right? The Bills, if you look at their schedule, nearly every week they are playing a stud wide receiver. And today's no different. And Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to want to come out with a splash. And the Cardinals are going to want to showcase their shiny new toy. So the Bills defense is going to have the opportunity to show us today what that looks like against a star wide receiver. So it's those two categories to me. I want to see the Bills' ability to, I guess the biggest thing for me offensively, I want to see the same style from Joe Brady, where it's the, if it ain't broke, don't fix it approach, which I loved from him last year. It just felt like the common sense that was not so common with Ken Dorsey was re-implemented for Joe Brady, and they won damn near every game because of it. And then defensively, we saw what Sean McDermott was able to do with a variety of different guys. This year, they start off the season like that. Last year, they had the luxury of having Matt Milano week 1. They had the luxury of having Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. It's different this year, but we know that Sean McDermott's capable of overcoming a variety of different factors on defense, including new faces all over the place. But the back end, to me, Rico, the safety department, is one area you're going to be looking at. And speaking of which, if you want to take a look right now, here are the inactives. One of the inactives is Cole Bishop in the safety department. Joe Andreessen today, Rico, the linebacking unit, he is inactive as well.
We saw that happening. Happening. Go on.
So I think we anticipated that, right? But that's not to say we're not going to see Joe Andreessen at some point throughout the year. I guarantee we do. They, like we said right when it happened, they're not keeping him around for a feel-good story. He'll be out there at some point. So you have primarily, you're looking at this. And the majority of these inactives, Rico, are on the defensive side of the football. Anything stand out to you here?
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm looking at Dwayne Smoot. He had a pretty strong camp. I noticed that Dwayne Smoot is out, and alongside Javon Solomon. I mean, I thought that we would have wanted to have some pass rush. You want to get after. I mean, you want to get after a guy like Kyler Murray that keeps you on your toes. So you want athleticism. You want guys that can get off the mark and get after it. So Dwayne Smoot and Javon Solomon. A little puzzled. I wouldn't say puzzled, but I was like, okay, I'm curious about that one. Eddie Ulufushio and Cole. I mean, Joe Andreessen kind of saw that coming. Van Pran Granger inactive, so quite interesting. And Ryan Vandermark. So it almost makes me want to go back and look at the old line and see who do we make active, and what's shaking with that.
Let me ask you this from the defensive end standpoint. You see 2 defensive ends on the inactive list. What do you think Von Miller's role looks like today?
Von Miller's role is going to listen. I'm extremely excited about Von Miller. Yes, please. And what I'm looking forward to is seeing third downs. Right? Can we force Arizona into 3rd and longs? And if we do, Von Miller is coming out here and is ready to get things cracking. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like, but I want to see him on 1st down and 2nd down, right? Let me see how healthy you are. Are you as healthy as you say you are? Because if you're relegated to just third and long, you're a specialist. That's it. So I want to say you're a liability per se. That's not the case. But if you're only there for that reason, fam, that's a lot of money for just a 3rd down situation guy. I need you on 1st downs. I'm going to need you on 2nd downs as well. I need you all over the field, number 40. So I'll be very much paying attention to that. But the fact that Solomon and Dwayne Smoot are inactive, maybe it's a larger role for Von Miller. So that very much I'm looking forward to. I know that the depth chart showed that it was Epinesa and Greg Rousseau as the 2 ends, but I think there's going to be a lot because Von Miller primarily usually plays in the Greg Rousseau role.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm very much interested to seeing where and how he's going to be placed. So it's going to be fun, but don't relegate him just to 3rd downs, right? Or a specialist. I want him on 1st down and 2nd down. I want to see what we got in him. So week 1, this is a very great test going against a big-time dude like Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's healthy now. He's here to prove that he's healthy. He's here to prove that I'm a top 10 guy. That will be very interesting to follow up on and see. So jumping into what worries me is the Kyler Murray and how we maintain Kyler Murray, contain Kyler Murray. Him getting out of the pocket is going to be problematic because as much as people fear Josh Allen getting out of the pocket, they fear Kyler Murray should be feared just as much. And if we keep him within the pocket, we should be able to walk out of here with a dub, like you said earlier.
Couple of super chats real quick. James Mormon coming in. He is absolutely pumped up. Let's go Buffalo in all caps with about 75 exclamation points. What up, Rico? What up, Bot? What up, James? Glad to see you're stoked. Ready for Buffalo Bills football. We kick off in about 15 minutes. Crazy. And my soon-to-be brother-in-law, he's dialed in. Gary Paras. He's ready to rock on a Sunday afternoon. LFG Buffalo. And then
I've always wondered how you pronounce that last name. I was like,
Caroline's last name?
Is it Parahus? I was like,
that's funny you say that. So we would literally joke. That's how we would say it in a joking way because there were a few people who would say Parahus, just like
Parahus. I thought she's Spanish.
Parahus, nice and easy, just how it looks. But that is funny you say that because we used to do that all the time. And Caroline, speaking of which, she's jumping in. Oh, she's saying, I got to show you what I was gifted.
What you
got? Caroline reminded me. I forgot. I was too excited earlier to show you, but look what Mama Bot brought home for me yesterday. Look at this. You see this? The bot, exactly. Z-Bot Jr. Z-Bot Jr. Mom was at a
I like that.
She was at, I know I got a little blurry there, but she was at a festival yesterday. She comes home with Mini Bot. Can you believe it?
I like that Mini
How
Bot.
freaking cool is that? So
that's pretty cool.
He's gonna be the new good luck charm. I already got the spot for him.
Yep.
I think he's gonna be the good luck charm today, Mini Bot. We haven't had
when you stream going forward. When you stream, you gotta have Mini Bot right next to you, like almost like Penny Hardaway and Lil Penny. You might be a little young for that, but Penny Hardaway always had Lil Penny next to him. So when you Google it, you'll know what I'm talking about. So you got Mini Bot next to Z-Bot. I like that.
I already got the spot on the shelf when I get back ready to rock. Mini-Bot's going to be behind my shoulder at all times. So
I like it. Just a little something now. Did you hear what was happening? Did you hear what
I
happened around
heard.
the league? Did you talk
I
about
heard.
it?
I have not. Which one do you want to start with?
I mean, let's go to the South in Dallas.
Yeah, man.
I was in actually I don't know what you guys call it. What's your dollar store in the States?
Dude, there's so many. We have Dollar General, Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree. So ours is Dollarama, right? But nothing in that bitch is Dollarama anyway. They're all like $2, $3, $4. Anyway, there's a running joke that I always do. I have a running joke. I do it all the time. Anybody that's wearing a color of a jersey that I hate, I don't like, I tell them, hey man, you got a little dirt on your hat. So this guy's decked out in Dallas Cowboys gear. I was like, bro, you're all covered in dirt. I don't know if you see it. Just rub it down. He's doing this. He's like, oh, he caught it. He goes, oh, by the way, he got paid. He knew exactly what he was talking about. I knew what he was talking about. I was like, how much? He goes, 131 guaranteed. Unreal, number one.
No, I think it's more than that.
Is it more than that?
Dude, Rico, you know how we were talking about the idea of the $60 million quarterback coming to fruition?
Absolutely.
It just came to fruition. Dak Prescott, on average, is going to be making $60 million a year. For starters, how about the fact Jerry Jones, if not for anything else, the guy might not know a lot about winning in the playoffs or going the distance since the 90s, right? He might not know a ton about being a GM. He knows a hell of a lot about being a marketing wizard. Because the fact that we're talking about this on the Bills pregame show week 1, this is what this guy's capable of doing. Now, Dak Prescott, Rico, climbs further up the ladder to separate from Josh Allen and Mahomes, who are middle of the pack right now as far as money is concerned.
Right.
But the guaranteed money, Rico, I was just looking for below confirmed exactly what I was thinking. Dude, we're talking borderline. We're talking borderline Deshaun Watson contract here. It's a $240 million contract. $9 million of it is the only portion that isn't guaranteed. $231 million. That is essentially the fully guaranteed contract Deshaun Watson got a couple of years ago from the Browns. And funny enough, that's exactly who they play today. What are your thoughts on this?
Paid. I mean, it was anticipated. People have been talking about what kind of money is Dak Prescott going to get. All these other quarterbacks were getting paid except for Dak Prescott. So Dak's like, I'm chilling. I'm watching all these guys get paid, and they deservedly earn that money, and I'm going to earn mine. And you know what? He did the right thing by showing up to camp, do what he's supposed to do, and being the leader that he is. And he could have easily said, and week 1, I am playing until you give me my contract. And maybe that was what was said behind doors. I don't know. But Jerry Jones came in with the last minute and said, all right, boy, you getting paid, and here you are. Now go ahead and perform. Now, here's the real question. Is he going to get it done for the Dallas Cowboys? And that's what we've all been wondering. Does he get it done? Will he get it done? We'll soon find out. But $60 million guaranteed. Ooh, Josh Allen's going to get paid, man. When it's time for Josh to get paid, he's going to get his money.
I mean, think about it, dude. $60 million for Dak Prescott. What does he have? What is it? 2 playoff wins? 1? I don't even know what it is. 1? I don't even know.
Not enough.
But $60 million. So he's now the highest paid player in NFL history. CeeDee Lamb, 2 weeks ago, he became one of, if not the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. It's amazing to me the way Dallas operates, but I'll tell you, to me, it's similar. It's similar to the Tua situation. When you're looking at this money and then you look at what Josh Allen's been able to accomplish and be willing to do within those accomplishments financially to be able to allow the Bills, because think about it. The Bills right now have about a quarter of their salary cap to dead money as it is. If Josh Allen was pounding down the table like the rest of these guys to get his, it would be even worse. Josh Allen, Mahomes, there's reasons beyond what you do on the field to me that make you one of the best quarterbacks in the league, one of the best leaders of an organization. That's a perfect example. I'm not saying we don't want him to get paid. I'm not saying he won't get paid, but Josh Allen, he knows he's going to get paid. That's exactly what he said when he was asked about it. But you got situations like this. I mean, it's crazy to think that right now, the Dallas Cowboys, who got obliterated by a first-year starting quarterback last year at home in the playoffs, now have the highest paid quarterback in the league and one of the highest paid wide receivers in the league. Next year, they'll probably have the highest paid defensive player in the league in Micah Parsons. It's wild to me. I mean, I don't know how you would feel about it. I'd be interested to hear what your brother thinks about it. But to me, that money, I think Dak is certainly a fringe top 10 quarterback, but highest paid player in the league. Then again, though, Rico, you know as well as I, it's just next man up. Come get a bucket and fill it to the top. And that's exactly what Dak just did.
Next man up. And that's what it comes down to. And speaking of next man up, next man up got to step up for Buffalo. And Diggs being gone, Davis being gone. Who is the next man up that's going to step up and be Josh's guy? And this is the big one, right? We can talk about all the things on defensive side of the ball, but really at the end of the day, if we're going to establish ourselves as one of the better offenses in the game again, or yet again, one of these guys is going to have to step up as being the guy. Kincaid is in line to be the guy, but we need someone that's going to threaten other than Kincaid. Is Keon Coleman going to have his game today? That's the question. I know the game starts in about 10 minutes, give or take, but is Keon Coleman, is going to be a Keon Coleman type day today? I know the game is we're going to run the football and the wind is just blowing the left, right, and center. Is this a game just for the run game, or do one of our receivers shine and take off? And which one will it be? Is it going to be Keon? Is it going to be Khalil? Or is it be Curtis Samuel? Because I know a lot of us are excited about what this receiver room is going to bring to the table. Question is, which one of you guys is going to step up and be the guy? Which one is the one that's going to be like, Josh is always looking for me, and I got to make sure that I'm there for Josh? Is it Shakir? Is it Curtis Samuel? Is it Keon Coleman? Which wide receiver is going to be that guy? What are your thoughts, my guy, Z-Bot?
I don't know what it is. To me, I don't, going into today at least, I don't think we leave today going into the post-game show saying, man, I can't believe Keon Coleman just put up the numbers he did. I don't see that today. Mm-hmm. I don't think the game situation calls for it. I also don't know what the strategy is going to be in terms of, this is the other reason why I think today today in these next coming games, it's just going to be a huge indicator as to what this offense is going to look like. But the target share to me is one of the things I'm most interested in seeing. Yes. I got to agree with Kim here. I think if we leave today with one guy that we're going to be talking about as far as catching the ball is concerned, my money's going to be on Khalil Shakir today. I think the Bills moved the ball intermediately today, middle of the field type work. And I think that could serve well for Khalil Shakir, one of the surest hands in the league, the most tenured Bill at this point right now in the wide receiver room. I think Khalil Shakir could be that guy today. And then to me, we've been hearing it all off season, Rico, to the point of almost certainty. And it's getting to that point when other people outside of the Bills fan base are saying this, but everyone's expecting massive, massive things from Dalton Kincaid. I'd like to see shades of that today. When we leave today, I'd like to be able to say, man, they really are putting an emphasis on what we thought they would, and that's getting the ball to Dalton Kincaid. How about you, though? What are your thoughts?
Here's the deal. I think this is the game where Khalil Shakir establishes himself as, I'll say it, the Diggs replacement, because we're always gonna be looking as who's gonna replace Diggs, because Diggs left Buffalo with 4,000 yards receiving, over 30 touchdown receptions, give or take around that mark. You're gonna fill those shoes. Those are big shoes to fill, right? We can talk about how he kind of disappeared the last 6 weeks of we get that part. We really do. But the last 4 years, he's been the dude. He's been one of the top receivers in the game. Can Khalil Shakir come in and replace him? He is the guy. So we're going to find out if he can fill those shoes. But we also have guys that have roles to play. And that's what's going to stand out to me the most. Like once everybody sets in their roles, how lovely will this offense look? And we're looking forward to that as well. I do want to bring some things up, though, because we come to the portion of the preseason. I see preseason. I'm so out of preseason. We come to the portion of the remember who we have. Get your shot glasses ready. Yeah, my boy. Listen, man, my boy P Money is gonna be ready
He's
to rock
ready.
And roll.
I know he is.
This is where we get to the show where we start making predictions, my good man.
Yep.
We start making, some hot takes and some bold takes. So let's start with a hot take from my guy Z-Bot. Z-Bot, hot take. What do you got?
Hot take. Josh Allen has less than 20 pass attempts today. The Buffalo Bills run it for more than 30 attempts. I think James Cook has a monster day today. I think the Bills run the ball exceptionally well today. So my hot take will be Josh Allen he finishes the game in the teens in terms of amount of attempts he ends up throwing the ball. How about yourself? Oh, and you want to know one more thing I'll say? One more hot take? And at this point, it's considered a hot take. No interceptions for Josh Allen today. No interceptions.
See, I like that. I like that. Is that a bold prediction or a hot take?
Well, let's think about it. This time last year, Josh Allen threw 4.
Yep.
0 would be an incredible improvement, obviously. So I think it might be more of a bold take, but I mean, we know Josh Allen last year, like betting him to throw a pick was like minus 180 or whatever. Like, so we know that the susceptibility is always there. I think it's a bold take, but it's one that I'm willing to stand by. I think Josh Allen, no interceptions today.
I like it. So, folks in the chat, give me your hot takes, give me your bold predictions, and let's see what we can get. So here's my bold prediction. Bold prediction. The Bills defense comes away with 2 picks, and both picks are by Damar Hamlin.
Wow.
Both picks are by Damar Hamlin. I don't care how they come. Tip ball, you know what I mean? He stabs one in the red zone. He's on the defensive side of the red zone, but 2 picks, bold prediction by Damar Hamlin, and he does a lot of this to a lot of Bills fans. He does a lot of this. So bold prediction. Is it going to happen? Who knows? But it's very bold for me to come out and say, you know what? He silences a lot of the Bills critics, and he bolsters his name as, you know what a redemption story. The story just gets even better. First game back, he's named a starter, then steals the game. Potentially, I'll even go even more. He gets 2 interceptions, and the second interception is a game-sealing interception. Bro, give me that. Somebody said you stole my hot take. I didn't even see yours, Dante. I promise you, I didn't see that. But yeah, man, 2 picks for my guy, Damar Hamlin. We were talking about it yesterday. Just maybe, he might be good. He might be great for this defense. Maybe this is his time. So big shout out to Damar Hamlin, and we hope that this is the case. That's my bold prediction.
I would love that so much. Screw my hot take. I would absolutely love that. I mean, it would feed families. If Damar Hamlin had 2 picks in this game, man, I don't think you could top that all weekend from anybody around the league. That would be incredible.
I would be incredible. My man Explo V says bold prediction: Kincaid 100 yards and Cook scores 2 TDs. I mean, shoot.
All right.
I kind of like that. What do you got as for your score prediction? I know it's a tough one.
Yep.
But let's try to get a score prediction going here. Has it changed?
It's interesting. Hasn't changed for me. I'm still going to stick to what I said on Friday. I got the Bills winning this one 27-21. I just think that week 1 to me is such a mystery for everyone around the league. I mean, last year, as soon as Aaron Rodgers went out, I mean, I would have bet my family's life, I mean, whatever, that the Bills are walking out of there with a victory the second that he went down. Right. I think any Jets fan in the building, based on the body language that they were showing in the 70,000 fan wide sigh that you heard, would have agreed with me. And they wound up losing in overtime on a punt return of all things.
Yeah.
So you really never know, but that's the reason I have this game being closer than maybe it would be, Rico, if it was like week 8. But I still have the Bills winning. And you got to remember this. Last year, the Bills were winning games against teams that weren't nearly as good as them because of the style of gameplay that they played. I think that's a similar situation today, where they run the ball a lot and they hold on to the rock a significant amount. Last year, that was a huge part of their game. It was time of possession. So for me, Rico, that leads to a game that I think is closer than maybe it should be, but the Bills get out of here with a 27-21 win. How about yourself?
Oh, you know what? I'm changing my mind. So I said it was going to be, I said we were going to cover the spread and cover the points. I don't think we're going to cover the spread. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people anticipate. And it's mostly because nobody knows anybody, right? This is week 1. Week 1s are all so bizarre, right? It's week 1. Everybody's trying to feel each other out. Everyone's got their first 15 plays scripted already. And then once those 15 plays are out the window, now the chess game can begin. And I think this is going to be a lot closer than we think. And I think the Cardinals cover the spread. I think the Bills still win this one. It's going to be something like 23-21, right? 25-22, something of that nature, right? And it's just going to be a close game. I still think we win it. I think we win by like 3 or maybe 2. And that's how tight it's going to be. And this game will be used as like any other game. We need to look. We got to clean up. We're going to clean up here. We're going to clean up there. And the decisions will be made. Are you cut for this team? Are you cut for this position? Or are you made for this? We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I want a blowout. but I think it's going to be closer than we anticipate.
You and me are pretty much lockstep. Okay, Bruce got Curtis Samuel having a good day. I love that. Rico, it's officially after 1. That means Buffalo Bills kickoff is right around the corner. That also means we got to move out of the way because our man Frank's coming in. He's asking, is there going to be a play-by-play? Yes, there's going to be a play-by-play from our main man, Kingpin. That goes live in just a minute here. You can not only watch it where you're at right now, but you can also watch it on the Autograph app. I know we've been talking to you guys a lot about Autograph, and it's for good reason. They're a proud sponsor of the show. We're proud to be a part of them this year. You can watch Pierre and the post-game show on Autograph. Not only can you watch us there, but you can earn rewards while watching that you can put towards jerseys, tickets, you name it. Autograph's got everything Buffalo Bills in one convenient area. So make sure to download the app. The link's in the description below. You can take advantage of that. And on your way out, like and subscribe so that you can get all the content coming your way, including our post-game show. And then, of course, if you're in agreement with me and Rico, you think this game might be a bit higher scoring than the over-under suggests, go and take advantage of that 150% sign-up bonus with BetUS using the promo code YouTube150 up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. Rico, we'll talk to the folks after the game, and I can't wait for it. You ready to rock?
Buddy, listen, if you had that theme song ready for me, I'd be ready to clap my hands and get going. But listen, the game is about to start. Listen, everybody, enjoy it. Let us come back here and rejoice and say, you know what? We won this game. We're 1-0, and we're not coming in here cussing up a storm because it's going to be me and your boy Z-Bot post-game show.
See you after the game, everybody. Enjoy it. Peace.